And it's time for Eyre Peninsula Netball. And as always, we go to the only person that knows everything about Eyre Peninsula Netball, and that is Joe Franklin. Joe, how are you?
I'm doing really well, and you?
I'm doing okay. I'm getting more and more knowledge from you, so I'm starting to get things are starting to come back. I'm starting to remember.
It's all starting to come back. Starting to come back. Because, it was a little while ago. It certainly was a little while ago.
Yeah, we don't need to dwell on that at all, do we?
No, we don't. We do not. No, a few grey hairs since then. But anyway.
Once we start talking grandkids and stuff, we don't need to.
I know. Anyway, and
yes,
I
right.
have given up on tipping. I'm not doing it anymore because I got 3 wrong last week, and I reckon you might have got a couple right. So I obviously don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, well, see, I did tell you. I told you Locke was going to win. I told you.
Yeah, you did, and they did do that. So Locke defeated Cougars 47-32. Look, Cougars, they won't. Ella Wed certainly, as the coach, won't be making excuses. But look, they have lost Ella out of goals, and she can also slot back into defence. And they've also lost Morgan McDonald through the middle, 2 EP players. And have played state country. Have done a lot of netball, and so to lose both of those out of your team halfway through the season is not ideal, and I think they're still playing around a little bit and just seeing how they are going to cover that. So having said that, Locke certainly have put themselves into gear. Their 2 goalers, Lisa Burrows and Jordan Sladden, are shooting the lights out. They're presenting themselves. They're rewarding their team for their turnovers when they get a turnover, and are playing really, really well. And I think the sides who are sitting first, second and third on the ladder might just want to watch out, because I think Locke might well be coming, and good on them for getting it together and having a really good win, because if they were going to beat Cougars, Saturday was the day that they needed to do it, and they did.
They did. And I said you had to watch them. You had to watch them. It was the game. They needed to do it, and they did it. So now they've got to go on with it. That's the next thing. But we'll get to that in a second.
Yes, they do. Which they sort of really don't get to do this week because they do have to buy. But then the other upset was that Eyre United 33 defeated Elliston Districts 19. Now I know Kate Baker, coach of Elliston Districts, would not have been at all happy with her side only shooting 19 goals for the day. And I'm certain that they would be working very hard on that this week. But Eyre United, Brooke, extremely happy with her side to score 33 goals and come out with a win against Elliston Districts. Was a huge win for them, and they would be hoping that they can build on that. Look, Eyre United, when they're hot, they're hot. When they're not, they're very frustrating. But they were obviously very hot on Saturday and got the win quite comfortably. So well done to them, and I think Elliston Districts will be certainly working extremely hard this week on the training track to make sure that doesn't happen again.
Because I'm sure the coach is really concerned about the fact they only got 19. I mean,
yes,
that's just, from my novice angle, I'm quite alarmed by that. So.
Oh, especially with Elliston, just like that, not really heard of really from them. Yeah. Mind you, they could. I haven't heard whether they had anybody missing. They well could have, but still, they've got depth up there, so they should have been able to cover it. And then something really interesting happened in the other game, Clayton, was United Yolanda did get up and defeat Tumby Bay 53-43. But what actually happened in that game was that all the Norton girls got to play together for the first time ever. So Cassie, Riley and Lucy got to play with their mum, Heather. Heather Norton, of course, a legend on Eyre Peninsula when it comes to netball. Well, lots of things really, but she's still playing amazing netball. But they all got to play, so that was a pretty special occasion, and certainly Yolanda made the most of that. But look, Tumby, they had a couple missing, I believe, which certainly would have unsettled them. But United Yolanda, the girls certainly celebrated having that win over Tumby Bay, and the fact that those girls, the Nortons, got to play together, something very, very special for Heather. There's no question about that. And well done to them. But for them to come away with a win when they needed it, certainly would have meant that Tumby Bay would have also be working very hard on the track this week, I would think, because I don't think Stace would have been all that happy with that. But like I said, having said that, those Norton girls, Cassie, Riley and Lucy, put them together and they're pretty handy, and then throw their mum in amongst them as well. And very, very formidable.
They were scared of their mum. They were going to win that game no matter what. They were scared of it.
No, they did really well, which is just, well done. The three lower-ranked sides beat the three top-ranked sides, so that was very interesting, last week's results from there. But this week, therefore, could be really interesting as well. Not sure that United Joanna still have all of the Norton girls home, but they take on Elliston Districts, who will be absolutely seething after last week, and they will definitely be wanting to redeem themselves. So I would think that they are back to full strength and would be making sure that they put it all together this week and make sure that they defeat United Joanna, I would think. So it is at Carcoo, so it is a home game, so Elliston do have to travel to Carcoo, but all the same, I would think that they will be out for blood this week, and they'll be making sure that they redeem themselves. And I think that United Joanna, the young kids might just see that Elliston Districts mean business.
They will, absolutely. No, I'm tipping Elliston straight away without even thinking about it.
Yeah, I know. Look, the United Joanna, great win last week, but I'm just not sure that they're going to back that up. But hopefully they can. I'm sure they'll give it a crack. And then you have Eyre United after their win last week, taking on Cummins Kapini Cougars out at Kapini. Eyre United, they, like I said, when they're hot, they're hot. When they're not, they're not. They're quick. Their ball skills are exceptional when they are hot, and if they can keep the pace up and the consistency for 4 quarters, they certainly will take it up to Cummins Kapini. There's no question about that. But having said that, I do think that Cummins again would be making sure that they have settled after last week and that they are concentrating on getting back on the winner's circle and making sure that they are able to beat Eyre United and be a force towards the finals. I think that Ella certainly by now would have decided what she's going to do, and I think they will be settling that down. Having said that, I think that the centre court for Cummins Kapini, even though they're missing Morgan McDonald, I think that they have got a bit of depth through their reserves to bring in there. But Eyre United, that's where they've been playing really well, is through the centre court. So I think if they can get on top of Cummins there, Eyre United could just maybe be the upset for this week.
No. Cummins,
not this week?
No, not this week, no. Cummins Kapini, easy. It'll all be over by three-quarter time. It'll all be over.
Yeah. Look, I think that they definitely will put the foot down this week and make sure that they get back in the winning.
There's finals beckoning, and that's what they're aiming for. Yeah. So this will set the tone for their team heading towards the finals.
Yeah, but yes, I definitely think they'll put last week behind them and move forward. And then the other game, Tumby Bay versus Cummins Ramblers, is at Tumby Bay, and Tumby Bay the same. They will be making sure that they get back in the winner's circle, no question about that. Look, Ramblers have struggled this year. They had just the lack of consistency being able to put of their side, getting the same team out on the court week in and week out, and it's just been a very difficult time for them. They really enjoyed their 75th anniversary celebrations the other week, although COVID did run a little bit rampant after that. But and they're trying really hard. They're working really hard every week, but just not quite there at the moment. So I think that Tumby there will take the win there, and Rambler girls, they'll battle it out. But I just think that Tumby overall will be too strong on the day there at Tumby, and we'll take that one out.
I think you're right there, Joe. And it's something that I just flicked over to the ladder, and it's something I haven't seen for a very long time, is where Ramblers are. And
I know.
It took my breath away when I saw it, because that's not where they're supposed to be. So
no, it's not where they're used to being at all, but certainly a rebuilding time for them, and certainly a time like Kira Simons, a young girl, took the job on knowing what she was taking on, so hats off to her. And she's keeping them, she's getting the side up every week, and although they have forfeited one week, but they're getting a side out on the court and they're giving it a crack, and hopefully, they certainly have giving the young ones a real crack, and they are certainly developing. There's no question about that.
Absolutely. All right. Okay, moving on to Eastern Eyre now.
Well, Eastern Eyre didn't play last week, state country championships for football.
That's right, yep.
So it's sort of like, and obviously, working with their footy, they didn't play, but they do resume this Saturday. And whilst Central Air United have the bye, which actually, I don't know whether it's ideal or not. Clayton, that gives them 3 weeks off. They've actually had 3 weeks off. They'll have had 3 weeks off, and I'm not sure. However, having said that, with COVID running around again, they might be thankful that they've got 3 weeks off. I'm not really sure. But what the games that are happening in Eastern Air this week, Cowell are taking on Eastern Rangers. Eastern Rangers will be too strong, too tall, too strong, and a little bit too skilled for Cowell. As much as I'd love to say that Cowell could cause an upset, I just don't think that will happen. Having said that, they are definitely on the improve. They've got a new look side this year, and they're working really hard with it. They've got a new coach who's doing a really good job at making sure that she's bringing everybody together. But I just think that Eastern Rangers will be too strong there on the day. Very tall. Eastern Rangers are just so tall. They're so tall in both ends, goal end and defence. And the other game, Ports take on Kimber at Arno Bay. And again, whilst Ports have been working really hard, poor Chloe, she just cannot get the same team out on the court for 2 weeks in a row, which is extremely frustrating. She hasn't been able to get them all to training either, which is very frustrating. Kimber will be too strong on the day, and whilst at the same time they've had a little bit of COVID early in the year, but I think they've been able to work their way through that, and they've now been able to get some consistency in their game. And having said that, it's still tight between Rangers and Kimber and Central Air United, but I think Kimber will be too strong for Ports on Saturday, I would think.
I would think so as well, yeah. Even though you'd like to see Ports at least get a W eventually in the remaining game. You'd like to see them at least get one so they don't have to finish without a victory for the season. But if there's still a few weeks to go, and we'll see how we go with them.
Yeah, absolutely. And they do work so hard, and Chloe is working really hard with them and trying. They really do try, and it is nice if all the effort that you put in, you do come away with a win. So we'll keep our fingers crossed for them that they can come away with one of those before the end of the season.
That's what I'm doing right now. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, look, because they do. As a club, they work really hard too, so to make sure that they can continue to fill an A grade. So good luck to them. But we've had a bit of a busy time, Clayton. We've got Netball SA have created these on the road program, and so they're out and about on the Eyre Peninsula this week, and on the weekend they've been into Cleve. They've done a couple of clinics in Cleve. They've been in Lincoln and run a couple of players' clinics down in Lincoln. They're heading to Woodner, doing some work there. They're heading to Sejuna, doing a bit of work there. Then they're back in Lincoln on the weekend with some umpiring as well. Coaching, Ros Fraser's going to do some coaching, mentoring to Streaky Bay. So busy time. And then also on the weekend we have our very own Hannah Petty is coming home for the weekend. Well, coming to Lincoln anyway. Yep. And she's going to be doing, her and Matilda Garrett are going to be doing a little bit of promotional work with their sponsors, Mazda and Subway. And then they're also going to come and visit out at the Lincoln Courts on Saturday, and then Sunday they are running a First Nations clinic at Navigators College. So a busy time for Netball SA, but also people on Eyre Peninsula. We do pay subs to Netball SA, and we do every now and then have a little whinge about what we do or do not get for our money. So when they are bringing these things out, great idea to make sure that we support them and get along and learn from them. So hopefully people are getting out and about and getting to the clinics that they are providing for us.
Well, there's lots on the Sunday. I'm just looking. There's a coach education session. There's umpire workshops. There's your favourite and my favourite walking netball come and tries.
We are doing that, Clayton. Yes, I laugh. I am having a crack at that. And we've got quite a few who have registered for that, and we're actually looking forward to it, and are actually looking at running a competition here in Lincoln for a couple, over a 4-week period next in the 4th term. So, we're looking forward to that one.
All right, that will be fun, walking netball. Just trying to work out how they're going to do the stepping, but anyway, and there's a meet and greet too as well on Sunday.
Yeah, there isn't. So I am hoping that some of the presidents from the other associations and some club presidents from across the Eyre Peninsula do come to that. Yes, I know it's in Lincoln and I know that's a little bit of travelling, but if we want to be putting our case forward, then we need to be turning up to the meet and greet and making sure that we do have our case heard.
And if you get there, Joe will buy you a sarsaparilla, so it's an incentive
I might even
itself.
get something stronger than a sarsaparilla. You never know.
We're not going to go there, Joe. Not at all. No, there's bad memories. I'm still in therapy over it.
Yeah.
All righty. Anything else, Joe?
We are putting on an afternoon tea for that as well. So
all right, excellent.
Yeah. All good.
All right. Good luck with everyone playing netball this weekend. Good luck with your tips, and we'll see how we go, and we catch up with you next week.
No worries. Thanks, Clayton. Take care.